There's this term bandied about a lot right now. It's called terroir, which is a French term. It's hard to say. It sounds foreign. It sounds mysterious and just makes wine, all the more inaccessible. Ultimately, what this is just this French idea, which is now everyone's idea, that wine can taste like it comes from someplace. And so we're going to talk about that. What does it mean that a wine can taste like it comes from someplace? My name is Richard Betts, and I'm the sommelier at the Little Nell Hotel in Aspen, Colorado. I've been really fortunate to become a master sommelier, and there are about 115 of us worldwide today, 70 or so in the country. To become a master sommelier, I think the most important ingredient that you have to have is passion, that you have to really care about it. It means being able to really answer any question about anything you eat, drink, or smoke anywhere in the world, and that comes through a blind tasting exam where you're given 6 wines in 25 minutes to talk about what the wine's made from, what grape, where it was made, how it was made, when it was made, how it was aged, and all that goes into that. I like to pick up a glass and take a trip, and that's really what terroir can communicate to you. So when I pick up a glass of Chianti, I want to be in Tuscany, even if I've never been there. And I want to pick up a glass of Shiraz from Australia, and it'll be distinct, hopefully, from the Chianti, and it'll have its own sense of terroir, its own sense of place. And I'll take a trip to Australia, somewhere sunny, especially on a cold winter night in Aspen. So it's this sort of idea that it communicates where it's from. And what goes into that is everything from the weather, the type of grapes grown, the soil they're grown on, their aspect to the sun, the way the wind blew, the way the weather played out that season, the pig farm down the road and whether it blew to it or from it, when the grapes were picked, the cave that they were aged in. All of these little factors add up to that sense of place. Where the vineyard is fundamentally important. I mean, it's everything. Again, it's where the vineyard is and its relationship to everything around it, from the weather to its neighbors. And a neat way to figure that out for yourself, do it with friends, do it with family, whatever, do it in a restaurant, do it at home, is just get 2 wines, even if made by the same guy in the same year from different vineyards, they will be different. I mean, ultimately, if terroir is the intellectual value of wine, why is that important? For me, it's important because then we have a broad palette to paint with, a broad palette to drink from. I mean, if there is no terroir, if there's no sense of place in the wine, then all wines are going to be the same. So you only need 1 wet red and 1 white and 1 sparkling wine, right? And so you might as well take the cheapest one of each and just have 3 flavors. To me, that's pretty boring. So you want to have this sense of place where you have thousands and thousands of flavors. That's really what the terroir is about. So what should you pay attention to when you line up those 2 or 3 or 4 different wines is just any similarities, what's the common thread amongst them, and then what makes them different. And maybe it'll be something, this one tastes like mushrooms, and this one doesn't taste like mushrooms at all, and this one tastes extra fruity, and this one is much more restrained in its fruit. And maybe one tastes more oaky than the other. Hopefully, they've been aged the same way, but it's just the way one wine wears it versus another wine. It wears it quite differently by virtue of the fruit and what it's capable of wearing. There's a fantastic wine critic, Burton Anderson, who's lived in Italy since the mid-60s. He's really been a proponent of this term animas, which really translates to soul. And he'll talk about the soul of a wine, which again can sound a little bit mysterious or what have you, but there's there's soul food and there's soul music. Why not soul wine? And I like this a lot because it really, to me, speaks to the people and the place from whence the wine has come. That's really interesting. So someone's story, someone's feelings, someone's expression, someone's capabilities, possibilities, their land, their friends, their situation in that year. I mean, that's kind of the nitty-gritty, and it makes wine a really personal experience. I like this idea a lot. I think it's very also consistent with the idea of terroir, and to me, it humanizes the whole experience. It's not just about what's in the glass. It's not just about something being fruity or oaky or what have you, but it's the sort of spirit with which it was made and then its ability to convey that to you in the glass. That's pretty cool. In summary, what is terroir? Terroir is this being able to pick up a glass and take a trip, to have a sense of place in whatever wine it is that you're drinking. So the sense of place in, so-and-so's Chianti, being able to pick it up and sense that versus so-and-so's Napa Valley Cabernet. They should each taste different and taste of the place from which they've come, and that's the idea of terroir. It allows wine to be intellectual, and that intellectual value is really, for me, what distinguishes it from all other forms of alcohol, other spirits, beers, what have you. And that's what makes it, it's a little kicker. If it didn't have that, actually, I'd just drink margaritas. My name is Richard Betts, and I'm the sommelier at the Little Nell Hotel in Aspen, Colorado.